When we talk about the hierarchy of power in the DC universe, the conversation almost always starts and ends with Superman, Iron Man, the alien god who can move planets and withstand supernovas. Or perhaps we discuss Batman, the tactical genius who can defeat anyone with enough preparation time. But standing right between these two titans, often overlooked in the debates about raw power, is a force so ancient, so skilled, and so terrifyingly powerful that even Superman hesitates to fight her, and Batman explicitly admits she is the one person on Earth he cannot plan for. We are talking about Princess Diana of Themyscira, known to the world as Wonder Woman. Most people think they know her. They see the tiara, the lasso, the sword, and they think female Superman or Xena with superpowers. But that is a fundamental misunderstanding of who and what she is. Because while Superman is a Boy Scout trying to be human, and Batman is a broken man trying to be a monster, Wonder Woman is a literal god of war walking among mortals, a being who was bred for thousands of years to be the ultimate weapon. And today, we are going to shatter the glass ceiling of your expectations by diving deep into the comic book lore to answer the question, how powerful is Wonder Woman really? Before we unleash the Amazonian rage, make sure to hit that like button to join the ranks of the Amazons, and let's march into battle. To truly grasp the magnitude of her power, we first need to strip away the cartoons and the movies and look at her biological, or rather theological makeup. For decades, the story was that she was molded from clay and given life by the Greek gods, a beautiful fairy tale. But the modern canon, specifically the New 52 and Rebirth eras, revealed a darker truth. Diana is the biological daughter of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons, and Zeus, the king of the gods, making her a demigod by birthright, a sibling to Ares, Apollo, and Hercules. This isn't just a fancy title. It means her physiology is fundamentally different from a human or a Kryptonian. Superman draws his power from a yellow sun, meaning if you take away the sun or hit him with red solar radiation, he becomes a normal guy. But Diana? Her power is internal, divine and magical, meaning there is no off switch for Wonder Woman. She doesn't need a battery, she is the battery. Let's talk about physical strength first, because this is where the disrespect usually happens. People assume she is strong, but not Superman strong. Yet, in the comics, she has helped move the earth. She has held up the heavens themselves, taking the burden from Atlas, a weight that is literally infinite because it represents the celestial sphere. And she did this without breaking a sweat. In Wonder Woman number 219, Superman was mind-controlled into thinking Diana was Doomsday, and he attacked her with 100% of his lethal force, intending to kill her. And Diana not only survived the beating, but fought him to a standstill, eventually defeating him by slitting his throat with her tiara to break the spell. A feat that proves she doesn't just have the durability to tank Kryptonian hits, but the lethal precision to end the fight. She has punched Nubia so hard she shattered the dimensional barrier. And she has taken blows from Darkseid, a literal new god of evil, and stood back up. But raw strength is boring. A lot of characters are strong. What makes Diana terrifying is the speed at which she applies that strength. She possesses the speed of Hermes. Many casual fans think Flash is the only speedster, but Diana can move fast enough to enter the Speed Force on her own momentum. In JLA number 55, she was blind, and she still deflected millions of shards of a shattered god from every direction simultaneously, a reaction time that is calculated in attoseconds. Superman has admitted that while he might be faster in a straight foot race across the galaxy, in a close quarters combat situation, Diana is faster because her reflexes are trained by thousands of years of warrior discipline. This brings us to the most critical distinction, the skill gap. Superman fights like a brawler. He relies on being invincible. Batman fights like a ninja. He relies on stealth and gadgets. Wonder Woman fights like a general. She was trained from birth by the greatest warriors in history on an island where war is an art form. Batman, the man who masters every martial art known to man, has stated on record that Diana is the best melee fighter in the world. Period. When she lost her powers and was completely human, she still sparred with the entire Justice League and held her own. This skill allows her to defeat opponents who are mathematically stronger than her. It's the difference between a bodybuilder and a grandmaster martial artist. The bodybuilder might lift more, but the martial artist will break his arm in 3 places before he can throw a punch. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the accessories. Her gear is not just jewelry. It is a collection of god-tier artifacts that make Thor's hammer look like a toy. First, the bracelets of submission. Most people think they are shields to block bullets. The reality is far more metal. These bracelets were forged from the shield of Aegis, the indestructible shield of Zeus, meaning they can deflect anything. Omega beams from Darkseid, heat vision from Superman, magical blasts from Mordru. But here is the secret that sends chills down the spines of villains. The bracelets don't protect Diana from the world, they protect the world from Diana. In the comics, when she removes her bracelets, she enters a berserker state, unleashing her full, unbridled divine energy. Her strength multiplies, her speed becomes untrackable, and she becomes a pure avatar of destruction. She did this against the goddess Artemis, and she completely humiliated her. Wearing the bracelets is her way of holding back, of not breaking the world made of cardboard that she lives in. Then there is the lasso of truth. Again, pop culture has reduced this to a lie detector test. In reality, the lasso of Hestia burns with the fires of truth. It is immutable. It can't be broken. It doesn't just force you to speak the truth, it forces you to see the truth, which can shatter the minds of gods and monsters who live in denial. It can heal memories, restore sanity, and even trap souls. It is a metaphysical weapon that cuts through illusions and reality warping. And we cannot forget her sword. While Superman and Batman have a no-kill code that they cling to desperately, Diana is a pragmatist. She is a warrior, not a vigilante. She desires peace, but she understands that sometimes, to get peace, you have to kill the warmonger. The most famous example of this is when Maxwell Lord had mind-controlled Superman and was using him to destroy the world. Batman was incapacitated. Superman was a puppet. Diana fought Superman, holding him off, and captured Maxwell Lord. She asked him, under the lasso, "How do I stop this?" Maxwell Lord replied, "Kill me." Without hesitation, without a philosophical monologue, Diana snapped his neck. Superman was freed. The world was saved. Batman judged her for it. Superman was horrified. But Diana stood tall because she did what was necessary. This is why she is the truth of the Trinity. She accepts the hard truths that the other two cannot handle. This willingness to cross the line makes her infinitely more dangerous than Superman, because you know Superman will try to put you in jail. Diana will put you in the ground if you leave her no choice. But wait, there is more. We haven't even touched on her God mode or witching hour forms. In the Dark Knight's death metal storyline, Diana dips into the fires of the World Forge and becomes a cosmic entity, a golden giant, capable of fighting the darkest night, a being who had the power of Dr. Manhattan. In the Witching Hour storyline, it is revealed that Diana was marked as a child by Hecate, the goddess of magic, meaning a portion of limitless magical power resides within her. When this power is unlocked, she becomes a magical threat on the level of Dr. Fate or Zatanna, capable of rewriting reality. This duality of being a physical powerhouse and a magical conduit is rare. Superman is weak to magic. It cuts him like butter. Diana is resistant to it and can wield it. This gives her a massive advantage in an all-out battle scenario. Let's compare her to the Marvel Universe to give you a sense of scale. If we look at Thor, the god of thunder, we see a very similar archetype. Both are royalty, both are mythological, both are warriors. But while Thor relies heavily on Mjolnir, Diana is the weapon herself. If you take away Mjolnir, Thor is still strong, but he loses his primary projection. If you take away Diana's sword and lasso, she will just beat you to death with her hands. Her combat speed is significantly faster than Thor's, who has often been criticized for having slow combat reflexes despite his travel speed. A fight between them would be legendary, but Diana's superior hand-to-hand skill and speed edge give her the victory. What about Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers? Carol is an energy absorber. Diana has fought energy beings before. The bracelets of submission can absorb and redirect energy blasts. Carol has a binary mode, but Diana has her god mode. It would be a clash of titans, but Diana's experience, thousands of years of combat versus Carol's decades, tips the scales. Experience matters. Muscle memory matters. Diana has fought in wars using swords, spears, shields, guns, and fists across centuries. She has forgotten more about fighting than most heroes will ever learn. Another aspect of her power that is often ignored is her resistance to extremes. She can survive in the vacuum of space, depending on the writer, sometimes needing an apparatus, but often just holding her breath for extended periods, like a demigod. She is immune to all earthly diseases, toxins, and poisons. She doesn't age like a human. She is effectively immortal. This grants her a perspective that is invaluable. She sees the long game. She understands the rise and fall of civilizations. This wisdom is a power in itself. It makes her a better strategist than most give her credit for. She is a diplomat, an ambassador, a queen. She commands armies. When Wonder Woman enters the battlefield, she brings the authority of a leader. People follow her. Superman inspires hope. Batman inspires fear. But Wonder Woman inspires courage. She makes the soldiers around her fight harder. That is a force multiplier that cannot be quantified in tons lifted or miles run. Now let's go back to the God of War title. In the New 52 run, Diana kills Ares. By the laws of Olympus, you keep what you kill. Diana becomes the new God of War. This grants her telepathic control over soldiers, the ability to sense conflict anywhere in the world, and a massive boost in power. As the God of War, she could technically influence every conflict on Earth. She chooses not to because she believes in free will and peace, but the potential is there. Imagine a Wonder Woman who decided to stop all war by force. She could do it. She could mentally command every army to lay down their weapons. That is planetary-level reality manipulation. Why don't we see this more often? Because Diana restricts herself. She is a character defined by restraint. She walks through a world of glass, careful not to shatter it. But when the gloves come off, when the bracelets drop, she is a horror to behold. Remember the fight against Steppenwolf in the Zack Snyder Justice League? That was a glimpse of the warrior Diana. The way she chopped, blocked, and smiled while doing it. Yes, she smiled. Because she is an Amazon. She enjoys the glory of battle. It is in her blood.
This differentiates her from Spider-Man or Flash, who are often scared or stressed during fights.
Diana is in her element. The battlefield is her home. This psychological edge is massive. She doesn't hesitate, she doesn't panic. Now let's address a controversial question. Can she beat Superman? The answer is a resounding yes. It has happened in the comics multiple times. Superman is stronger, yes. He is faster in flight, yes. But he holds back. He is a farm boy from Kansas who doesn't want to hurt anyone. Diana is a warrior princess who knows exactly where to cut to disable an opponent. She has a magical sword that can carve atoms. One clean strike and Superman is headless. Superman knows this. That is why he trusts her with the kryptonite in some iterations. He knows she is the only one with the skill and the will to stop him if he goes rogue. Batman has plans to neutralize the League, but his plan for Wonder Woman is usually have Superman fight her, because even Batman knows his gadgets are useless against someone who can react at light speed and has no specific weakness like kryptonite or the color yellow or fire. She has no hard weakness. If you bind her hands, she loses her power, classic weakness. But good luck binding the hands of someone who can bench press a mountain. Her only real vulnerability is piercing weapons if she doesn't block them. She is vulnerable to bullets if she doesn't deflect them, a holdover from her early days, though modern versions are much more durable. But hitting her is the problem. You can't hit what you can't see, and she moves like a blur. So when we summarize, how powerful is Wonder Woman really? We are looking at a character who possesses the strength to move planets, the speed to race the Flash, the skill to outfight Batman, the magical lineage to challenge Zeus, the weaponry to kill gods, and the will to do what is necessary to save the world. She is the perfect storm of physical, magical, and mental prowess. She is the bridge between the world of men and the world of gods. She is not the sidekick. She is not the secretary. She is the queen. In the upcoming DC Universe reset, or whatever future movies hold, if they nerf Wonder Woman, they are doing a disservice to the source material. We need to see the Diana who walked into hell to save her friends. We need to see the Diana who blinded herself to fight Medusa and won by chopping her head off on live television. We need to see the Diana who is scary. Because true power isn't just about saving cats from trees. It's about being the monster that fights the other monsters so humanity can sleep at night. Wonder Woman is that guardian. She is the beautiful terror. If you are Team Diana, if you believe the world needs more of the god of war fighting for peace, let me know in the comments below. Who do you want to see her fight next? Thor? Captain Marvel? Or maybe a rematch with Darkseid? Drop your thoughts and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the true power levels of your favorite comic book characters.